Hi everyone, welcome to Medicine Note YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see about reversible cell injury. I have already uploaded a video on irreversible cell injury. Please do watch it. Now you will see about the reversible cell injury. Causes of cell injury: hypoxia, ischemia. Hypoxia means less blood supply. Ischemia means there is poor blood supply. It can be due to physical agents like mechanical trauma, heat and cold, and chemical drugs, microorganism, hypersensitivity, immunological cause, or nutritional deficiency cause, and aging. These are the causes of cell injury. Reversible cell injury: any injury to a cell, it can be recovered. When a cell is injured, it can recover to its normal state and it can do its function properly. It is known as reversible cell injury. Pathogenesis: any pressure to a cell or any damage to a cell, O2 protein ions are not properly collected, so there is less nutrient supply, so unable to work properly. The pathogenesis is any damage or any pressure or any trauma to a cell which leads to the deficiency of oxygen, protein and ion, so there is less nutrition supply, so the cell is unable to work properly. Damage in nucleus: chromosomes gets damaged. In mitochondria, there is less ATP synthesis. If the damage is in plasma membrane, the ion channels are get damaged. In ribosome, there is decreased protein synthesis. Under microscope, if we see the cell which undergoes reversible injury, they have two features. If we see the cell which undergo reversible cell injury, they have two features, which is cellular swelling as well as fatty change. Cellular swelling means when the ECF and ICF is not maintained. ECF means extracellular fluid, ICF means intracellular fluid. There is no maintaining of ECF and ICF. The extracellular fluid enters into the cell and makes the cell swells, which results in hydropic swelling, because the extracellular fluid comes inside the fluid and makes the cell swells, and this causes hydropic swelling. When the protein molecule present outside the cell comes inside and makes the cell swell, which is known as hyaline change. When the protein molecule present outside enter into the cell, then it is called hyaline cell. There is extracellular fluid comes in, so that it is known as hydropic swelling or hydropic change. Here the proteins comes inside, so it is known as hyaline change or glassy change. Eosin and hematoxin dye looks like glassy. When the seen inside the cell, the intracellular hyaline change. When it is seen outside the cell, it is known as extracellular hyaline change. The glassy look is because of the eosin and hematoxin dye. When the swelling happens inside the cell, it is known as intracellular hyaline change. When it is outside the cell, it is known as extracellular hyaline change. Mucoid change. A mucin, a glycoprotein substance which enters into the cell and makes the cell swell, which is known as mucoid change. A mucin, which is a glycoprotein substance, comes inside the cell and makes the cell swell, which is known as mucoid change. Hydropic swelling. Most commonly seen in kidney, water, pancreas. The extracellular fluid comes in contact with the intercellular fluid and makes the cells swell is known as hydrophic change. It is mostly seen in kidney, liver and pancreas. Fatty change. When the fat accumulates inside the cell, it is known as fatty change. Otherwise, it is known as steatosis. In the liver, it is most commonly seen in liver, heart, skeletal muscle and kidney. Thank you. For more videos, please do like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel.